Yeah, that
How
was
was church?
it was good because today we had a special prayer chain, for, particularly because my daughter is very sick. So the entire church was having a prayer chain. So I also just attended that one and came. They are going to have a whole day prayer chain, particularly
Yeah.
praying for the people who are really sick and for healing. So
Okay.
actually that is where we keep our hopes because basically doctors can't do anything in her case because both the kidneys are not working, and
Yeah.
only thing what they can think of is a transplant, but that again they say it's a risk, all that. So we have basically thought to go along with God, and his healing hand will be upon her. So we are just
Yeah.
continuing to pray. So I would urge you also to pray for her in your
Okay.
prayers. When are you going to your Holy Land?
On 8th it'll be the on 8th I'll go and 15th I'll come back.
That is 8th of March.
Yeah, 8th of March.
All right. Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah. This is the first time you are going there?
Yeah, it's the first time.
All right. Okay. I've been. That's a journey that you should never miss in your earthly life because I think that's a very blessed journey that you can think of. I have visited many countries, but nothing like going to Holy Land and coming.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. They take it on a tour, like, or they? I mean, many people are going.
Yeah, many will. There's a big group.
Oh, right.
It's
Okay.
like
Yeah.
46 people.
Oh, right. Okay. Even here it's like that because they organize here. We also went with our church crowd, about 55 people. So it was
Yeah.
really a good time to be with Lord. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our friend Sam is expected, but I don't know. He is going to a cafe today. Yesterday also he tried because I was trying to cover up his missed lesson, but I could not get at him because his internet was not good. So anyway, what I thought was we had done the absorption, costing, and activity base. So I want to look at some questions, not really to answer the OT questions in that way, but to understand what we learned in theory, how we can apply it in practice, maybe in a strategic case study case or for knowledge, because otherwise we have the theory, how to do it in a real environment, Alex. Right? I
Yeah.
put a few questions for you, and we are going to look at a couple of questions today. Before we move into the next area, let's look at some of these questions because this is a very fundamental area. Your entire P1, I would say, is built upon these two areas. So even though we don't have the OT
Okay.
paper, we have the operational case study. For that, you will need this costing area very well, because even this new paper is called what is that called management accounting. So it is basically you need to know a lot about this costing area. So let's look at let's look at some of these things and see how it is going to be. Hold on for a second. Yeah, give me a second, Alex.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, right. So I want to look at the number one question. Now this is even though the OT question, this is a very relevant question for us. Now look at this question. This company publishes 3 newspapers: the Post, Gazette, and the News. So remember, the absorption of costing comes up to cover up the overhead, right? So to charge the overheads,
Yeah.
now there's a common overhead. That common overhead should be charged to these three areas, the post, the gazette, and the news. So number published is 60,000 something they have told, and yeah, you can see. Okay, hopefully he will come and he can get into this. Okay, number published, direct labor hours, machine hours, setup cost, distribution outlets, all those things are given. So we are given the overheads related to the activities. Now he survived, but he can't get into his sound. That's a problem. Okay, anyway, let's see how he's going to do it. Right. So then the overhead activities are given. So it is told that what the overheads that they incur, the total overheads, but they are given it as per activity. So distribution, machine maintenance, machine setup, and 72,000 something. So actually, what we need to look at is, yeah, Sam. Sam, now can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Sam? Hello, Sam? Okay, right.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello, Sam?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you.
All right, very
You hear
good.
me?
Okay, yes. We
Thank you.
just started, Sam. Actually, we are looking some questions. Maybe we are not covered the entire theory, but it's all right. But we are covered little bit. I'm going to explain more than to answer the questions to learn more about it. Okay?
Okay.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes, I can see.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Okay, so we have Alex, we have Sam today. Right. Okay.
Okay.
So
I may sometimes mute because I'm in cafe.
bye. That's good. Okay. Right. Okay. No problem. Right. So let's look at some of these questions, and we are looking some questions today on the absorption costing area. So Alex, what I was telling you was now there are three papers they are producing: the post, the gas, the gazette, and the news. Direct labor hours per unit, so that you don't need to portion it. We know machine hours per unit, setups, distribution costs they are given. Overhead related to the following activities. So that means the total overheads are 72,800. 72,800. Now that overhead we have to portion to these three papers. Sam, that is what we are going to do. Because this man is producing three papers. So the 72,800 we have to portion it to these three papers. Now for that we have to find out what we call a overhead absorption rate. Right?
Yeah.
Something called overhead. Based on that only we will apply overhead absorption rate. So that is what we call OAR, overhead absorption rate. Now the way there are a number of ways, Sam, what we can absorb the overhead. Now the one is the unit, number of units. The other one is number of machine hours, because we believe our overheads will increase with the more machine hours. The number three is number of labor hours. So here the three assumptions. Actually, Sam, even the theory will be covered up in this area again. Okay?
Okay.
Right. So you have the overhead. So overheads is something which is not direct to the product. So there are three products here: post, gazette, and the news. So the 72,800 overheads for all these three papers. So we have to work out the basis to apportion this overhead to post, to gazette, and the news. So one way to apportion is based on the number of units. So we can say the post is 60,000, gazette is 80,000, news is 90,000. So we are producing 230,000 paper. But that is not right, because the post may be taking more number of hours, gazette may be taking less number of hours, news may be taking lesser number of hours. To assume that it is equal, it's not right, Alex. If they were producing only the post paper, then we can take the number of units and do it. If they only producing the post paper, then we know the cost is 72,800, the overhead cost. They are producing 60,000 papers, so we can take the overhead absorption rate per paper and work it out. But when they are producing three types of papers, we do not know how long this will take. It may be taking 2 hours, this may be taking 3 hours, this may be taking 4 hours. So not right to portion on the basis of units. Then we can go on the basis of number of machine hours. That is, we believe our overheads are increasing with the number of machine hours. The more you run the machine, the overheads are increasing. So Sam, what do you think? Is it right? In your company,
Yes.
the overheads, will it increase? The more the machines run, will the overheads increase?
Yes.
Some overheads will increase. Some overheads will increase. For example, electricity will increase. Machinery maintenance will increase. More you run, more maintenance. More you run,
Yes.
more power required. But not that every overhead. Look at for something like rent. Rent is not going to move with the machine hours, is it?
It's fixed.
It's a fixed amount. But actually all these are fixed amount. Almost all are fixed. But the way that it runs, the portions, it can get changed. Right? So not that everything, but that is why later on we come to the activity-based costing, because this is not a very good method. But the traditional method is we absorb overheads on the basis of either units or machine hour rate, or the other one is direct labor. What we believe is more workers work, more number of laborers work, there will be overheads increasing. Now that is also partly true, partly wrong. Now for example, canteen overhead will increase with the number of people. Right? Your division has 10 people, my division has 20 people. My people will use the canteen overhead much more higher than your people. So that will increase, but not again the every cost. Electricity may not move with the number of workers. Whether you have 100 workers or 200 workers, the electricity bill may be the same. So that is also not right. So now we have to first decide what is the best absorption rate we can apply. So let's look at the details they are given. The post, they take direct labor hours per unit 0.2, Gazette 0.3, news 0.1, but machine hours 0.4, 0.5, 0.3. So it tells us a story. What is it telling us? It tells us this production is more machine oriented. It's more machine intensive. Correct? Right? Because for a paper, it takes only labor 2 hours, but it takes 4.4 labor hours, 0.4 machine hours. Gazette, it takes 0.5 machine hours. News, 0.3 machine hours. So it is more machine oriented. So in that case, we can out of the tree the bad things, what is the best way to apply? Best rate to apply? Units, direct labor, or machine? What do you think?
Machine.
Yeah, I think machine is right, because the reason is you're using more machine hours, isn't it? So because of that, your overheads will more likely to move with the machine hours than with labor hours.
Yeah.
Because it's more machine oriented. If you're using little machine hours, more labor hours, then it may be more appropriate to use the labor hours. So this is something which you probably want to look at in a operational case study case, and also in a short question like this. So Sam, we must use the machine hour rate. So now we must see, okay, this is the budgeted production 60,000. So how many machine hours they will use to produce this post? So 60,000 into 0.4. 60,000 into 0.4 machine hours they will use it to produce the post. Because for each paper you take 0.4 machine hour. So 60,000 into 0.4, which is 24,000. And similarly the Gazette, they are producing 80,000. So they are using 80,000 into 0.5, which is 40,000. Similarly, the other one is 90,000 into 0.1, which is 9,000. Sorry, 0.3, 90,000 into 0.3, 27,000. So altogether, total machine numbers we use in this company for a particular period 6 is how much? 24 plus 40 plus 27, 91,000. 91,000 machine hours. What is the total overhead cost? 72,800. So what we have to do is we have to deduct the 72,800 by 91,000 to find out per machine hour what is the overhead cost. I want Sam to understand it very clearly, this one. Can you understand, Sam?
Yes.
Total overheads are 72,800 for a particular period. This particular period is period number 6, 72,800. During this period, the machines are run for 91,000 hours. For the post, they are running 24 hours. For the gazette, they are running 40 hours. And for the news, they are running 27,000 hours. 91,000. So, Alex, from that one, we can find out per machine hour what is the overhead cost. 72,800 divided by 91. 72,800 divided by 91,000. How much is the machine hour cost?
Uh,
72,800 divided by 91,000. What is the machine hour cost?
0.79.
0.79. Yeah. I think I got 0.8. Just take it and see. 72,800 into 90. Will you give me a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. 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 Yes. How are you? Yes. Yes. I'm okay. Yeah. Now, where are you? You are still at Malaysia? Okay. Yes, I saw that one. Today, yeah, shall we make it at about 7 o'clock in the evening, Karuna? 7 o'clock? Yeah, can I send you a mail? I will send you to this number. 7 o'clock in the evening UK time we will have a class. 7 p.m. Okay, so we will meet at 7. I will send you all the details. Okay, take care, bye. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Sam,
No problem.
Alex, right here. Okay,
No problem.
so what is the cost per, the overhead cost per unit? How much you are,
0.7.
how much?
0.8.
0.8.
0.79.
Yeah, 0.79,
Yeah.
we can take it at 0.8. 0.8 is the cost per unit, right? That is not cost per unit, cost per machine hour. So they are asking, what is the traditional overhead absorption rate for period 6? So the traditional overhead absorption rate is 0.80. That's the answer. That is how traditionally we did it. Yeah?
Yes. We are here 72,800.
Divided
The
by
multiple
divided by
divided
91,000.
91,000.
Yeah. 72,800 is your overhead. The total overheads given. Divided by the number of machine hours, we have worked it out to be 91. So 72,800 divided by 91,000 is the overhead. So that is what you should be looking for, that answer. Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. So that's good. So the next one, I'm going to look at another question, the number 2 question. As I said, I'm not interested in really answering the question. I'm interested in learning something out of this question. So remember, don't worry if you're going to take a lot of time to answer the question. That is not the purpose. We want to learn more. Because this is the best way to learn than lot of theory and theory. Right, okay. So let's look at the second one. Yeah. So overhead will be always absorbed, over-absorbed, that situation. You remember, Alex must be knowing, but I'm explaining again. You remember that we do all our costing based on budgeted amounts, budgeted overheads, right? So what we do is we don't wait till the actual is done. Why? If we wait for the actual, we have to wait for longer periods, Sam. So we do a budget. So we say the budgeted production shall be say 100,000. Budgeted over, this is budgeted production units. Budgeted production 100,000 units. We say budgeted overheads are 1 million. Right? Budgeted overheads are 1 million. So in this case, per unit, if I go, the budgeted overhead absorption rate is 1 million divided by 100,000. Because we have overhead of 1 million and we are assuming, I'm assuming it's only one kind of a product, 100,000 10. So actually we apply this, the predetermined rate, to absorb the overhead. We can wait till the actuals are done, Alex. If we wait for the actuals may be 105,000. 105,000. Maybe the budgeted overheads are, that is the actual number of units produced is 105,000. But the actual overheads may be 1,500,000. Now, if we wait and to do costing, what will happen, Sam? Right? Because why do we do costing? We do costing because we want to sell the product. We want to have a price. We want to decide on a price. But if you wait till all these things ends up, what will happen? Imagine you are manufacturing something like something that is going to perish within a one day. Like maybe something like vegetables, processing vegetables, processing fish or beef or meat or something like that. What happens if you go wait till all this costing is done? The goods will be rotten. Correct? Because you can't wait till everything is actually done. So because of that, what we do is we go on standard costing basis. The predetermined budget. Predetermined budget is 100,000 units and the predetermined overhead is 1 million. So we take it as 10 and do it. But when you do this one, we have a problem. Your actual production may not be 100,000. Actual production can be 105,000. So we are going to absorb at the rate of 10, the standard basis. We are going to absorb how much? 105 into 10,000 at the 105,000 units into 10. We are going to absorb 1,050,000 to our costing. But our actual cost may be only budgeted amount 1 million. So what has happened here? We have over-absorbed, right? We should only absorb 1 million. But because we went on the predetermined one and because we produced more than the 105,000, we have absorbed more than what we should absorb. So 1,050,000. 50,000 over-absorbed. Is it clear? Alex? Hello? Alex?
Not.
Yeah.
The signal is not clear.
Okay. Right. Now, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Sam, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. Alex, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Alex, can you hear
Hello?
me? Yeah, yeah. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, the sound is a little distorted.
All right. Okay. Just
Yes.
yeah. Just give me a minute to see what's going on.
Yeah, but the sound is distorted.
Okay. Hold on for a second. I'll try to get it on the other one. Give me a minute. Sam, can you hear me?
Still not here.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, hold on for a second. I'm trying to get my sound separately.
Yes.
Hold on for a second.
It's clear now. It's clear.
Now is it all right?
Clear now.
Is it better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, right. If it goes off, you tell me. Yeah, right. So what I was what I was telling you was about this overhead underabsorption, overabsorption, right? So we go by predetermined rate. Predetermined rate is 10. But when we go with the predetermined rate and absorb it, maybe we have produced more than the 100,000, more than what we budgeted. So for product, we will absorb it at the rate of 10. How much? 10 into 105,000, 1,050,000. But maybe your actual cost is only 1 million. So that means we have overabsorbed 50,000. Now that can happen when we go by predetermined rate. So Sam, we can go by actual rates, but if you go by actual rates, no problem of overabsorption, no problem of underabsorption, but the information will come very late, very delayed. So we can't use it. Purpose of the question is lost. So because of that, we go by predetermined rate. When you go by predetermined rate, if your actuals are going to be different from the budget, you will have what we call overabsorption or underabsorption. Now let's assume that you produce only 95,000. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, 95,000 we have produced. So if we produce 95,000 at the rate of 10, we will absorb only 950,000. So there you can see, instead of 1 million, we have underabsorbed. So you can have, because of this predetermined rate, we can either have underabsorption or overabsorption. So let's see, look at what this examiner is asking us. So he's asking, will always be overabsorbed in which of these circumstances? So this kind of a question, this is very useful for Sam. When they say which of these circumstances, you can have more than one answer, remember. If they ask one answer, it's all right. But when you say in which of these sections, in which of these circumstances, you can have more than one answer. So I want to look at the probable answers. Actual output is higher than the budgeted output. In that case, will there be an overabsorption? Right? Actual incurred, actual output is higher than the budgeted output. We budget for 100,000. We budget for 100,000, but we produce 105,000. So overhead will be always absorbed in which of these circumstances, which should be overabsorbed. What do you think?
Underabsorbed it will be.
Is it underabsorbed? Now look at, right? But the budget is for 1 million. Total budget expenditure is by 1 million. Your budgeted number of units are 100,000. So like what I told you, it is 10, right? But your actual output is 105,000. So you are going to absorb 10 into 105,000. 10 is the rate into 105,000. So you are going to absorb 1,050,000.
Yeah.
1,050,000. So what is the scenario here?
It's underabsorption.
Why do you say underabsorption? Why do you
because the actual is more than the one that we absorbed.
Actual is actually okay. I thought the actual is going to be 1 million. I thought the actual is going to be 1 million. I'm assuming actual is 1 million.
Yeah.
1 million. But you are going to absorb 1,050,000 into your product.
Okay.
Yeah. You are going to absorb. So I think it's an overabsorption for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I am thinking my actual is 1 million. It did the budget and the actuals are same, right? So if the actual output is higher than the budgeted output is 100,000, actual output is 105,000, because I have done better, right? Actual output is higher than the budgeted output, I have done better. If I had done better, I should be absorbing more overheads. So that's that is I think it's an overabsorption, I think. Sam, what do you think?
I'm confused in this question.
Pardon?
So It's not clear for me this one.
Okay, right. Basically, as I told you, we go by predetermined rate. So budgeted overheads are 1 million and budgeted output is 100,000. So on that basis, we have decided our overhead absorption rate is 10. Right? 1 million divided by 100 is 10,000. Now, you have, your budget was, so actual source came to 1 million. We'll assume the actual source was 1 million expenditure. Right? Hello? Yeah. Actual expenditure is also 1 million. Now, at the rate of 10, if I try to absorb it, I have 105,000 actual units. 105,000 actual units. So, if you take 105,000 actual units and absorb it at the rate of 10, what I am saying is you are going to absorb 1,050,000. Whereas you need to absorb only 1 million. So, in that scenario, you have over-absorbed. So, I think this is right for me.
Oh, yeah.
This is right for me. Right? Then actual overhead incurred are higher than the amount absorbed. Actual overheads incurred are higher than the amount absorbed. So, let's assume in the same example, 1,050,000 is the amount absorbed, but the actual overheads are 1,200,000. Let's assume like that. Actually, this is the way it's easy to understand it. Actual overheads are 1,200,000, but we have absorbed is 1,050,000. Is it over or under?
Yes.
Less. Less, is it right? Less.
Yeah.
Right? We have absorbed only 1,050,000, but actual are 1,200,000. So we have under-absorbed 150,000 in the second case.
Yes, 100.
Right? So second case is wrong. Third one.
Yeah.
Actual overheads incurred are lower than the amount absorbed. Actual overheads incurred are lower than the amount absorbed. The actual incurred is only 900,000, but the amount absorbed is 1,050,000. Yes?
So over-absorbed.
Over-absorbed, you are right. Sam, is it clear for you?
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
Right. 900 is actual expenditure, you have absorbed 1,050,000. Budgeted overheads are lower than the overhead absorbed. Budgeted overheads are 1 million, but what is absorbed is 900,000. So that is under absorption.
Under.
That is under absorption. So actually A and C are the right answers.
So the last one says the budgeted is lower.
Budgeted overheads are lower. Budgeted overheads are 1 million. Right? Budgeted overheads are 1 million. And the budget overheads are lower than the overhead absorbed. So overhead absorbed is only, overhead absorbed is 1,200,000. Scenario like this.
Yeah.
So again, you can see that is also right, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is also right. Budgeted overheads are lower than the overheads absorbed. Budgeted overheads are 1 million. Overhead absorbed is 1,200,000. So there again, we have over absorbed.
Over, yes.
Over absorbed.
200.
So you can see the answers A, B, no, A, C and D are right.
Yes, all right.
A, C and D are almost right, I would say. I mean, they are the right answers. Only tricky part is discussion is will always be over-absorbed. Will always be over-absorbed. Now here in this scenario, now I want you to listen very carefully. The first one, look at this one, Alex, right? This should be normally over-absorbed. But it all depends what are your actual overhead expenditure also. It all depends on what is your overhead expenditure. Let's assume the overhead expenditure is not 1 million, but 1,200,000. Now I want you to very clearly understand this one, right? Let's assume the overhead, because earlier I thought it is 1 million, but now I'm saying no. Actual overheads are 1,200,000 because your your budget can vary not only by the amount expenditure, but even the other thing. 1,200,000 is the overhead. 1,200,000. So,
Yeah.
in that case, if I go on the basis I said 10 into 105, you will absorb only 1,050,000. So, if your expenditures increases, you will have a still under absorption situation. Sam, do you understand that one?
Yeah.
I'm varying the thing. I'm changing my word little bit for you. 1,200,000 is the actual expenditure. Earlier I thought it is 1 million, but because your budget and the actuals can vary, not only the expenditure, not both expenditure and the output. So here output is 105, expenditure is 1,200,000. So we will go on the basis of 10 and absorb it. Only 105, 10 into 105, 1,050,000. But the actual expenditure is 1,200,000. So there's an under absorption. So even though I said this is right, not always right.
Yeah.
Not always right. Similarly, look at the B1. Actual overhead incurred are higher than the amount absorbed. Actual overhead incurred. Actual overhead incurred are 1,200,000. All right. But let's assume we have produced only 90,000 units. Actual overheads incurred are higher than the B1 is wrong. No, we don't need to worry. See, actual overhead incurred are lower than the amount absorbed. The C1, yeah, C1 I want to look at. A1, now we have a doubt. A1 we have a doubt. B, surely we have no problem, that cannot happen. C, actual overheads incurred are lower than the amount absorbed. Actual overheads incurred. So let's assume that the overheads incurred is only 900,000. 900,000. Lower than the amount absorbed. So that one you will see if the amount absorbed is whatever the figure, right? If the amount absorbed is 800,000, surely, always this will be a scenario where the actual overheads are lower than the amount absorbed. But in this situation, actual overhead incurred is 900,000, right? Incurred are lower than the amount absorbed. Amount absorbed is 1 million, for example. Actual overhead incurred are 900,000. Amount absorbed is 1 million. So here you can see anytime this is always over absorption.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
Number C. Always that is right. Because what we are absorbing is lower, right? Actual overhead incurred are 800,000, for example. They are lower than the amount absorbed. So the amount absorbed is more, 1 million. That means we are over absorbing. So you can see C is always right. Now earlier we said the D is right. But now I want to see the D again. Budgeted overheads are lower than the overhead absorbed. Budgeted overheads, let's assume budgeted overheads are, shall we assume budgeted overheads, how much? Budgeted overheads are 700,000. Right? Budgeted overheads are 700,000. They are lower than the overhead absorbed. So the overhead absorbed are, shall we say, 800,000. Budgeted overheads are lower than the overheads absorbed. Now what can happen here? Look at this English little bit. The A and C, they talk about the amount absorbed. But the A and D, they don't talk about amount absorbed. They are looking about overhead absorbed. So it's not about the amount, right? It's about the quantity basically. Now that is the difference between the B and C. And that's the difference between A and D. A and D are talking about some quantity. But B and C are talking about the amount. So when the amount is involved, straight away we can come to a conclusion. But D also we can't come to a straight conclusion because we don't know the number of units they have produced. Got the point? So you have to be very, very careful in these questions. Particularly this is very relevant to Sam since he will be sitting for this one. You have to be very, very careful. So I think the right answer is C. you are looking at the amount. When the amount is there, you are sure about it.
Right.
So that is what you should be looking at. Anyway, what I want is I send you all these questions for you all. I want you to redo all these questions, thinking for yourself. And when you find it difficult, you must come back to me. Don't think
Okay.
that, don't worry. Anytime you can come back. Whatever the questions you have, you must bring it to me. Then I can explain it. I will explain it even 100 times till you understand it. Okay, Sam?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, bro.
yeah. Let's look at the number 3. Which of the following statements about predetermined overhead absorption rates are true? So this is what I told you. We always go by predetermined rate. Predetermined means we have already decided the overhead absorption rate based on budgeted production or budgeted machine hours or budgeted labor hours and budgeted overheads. We have decided the overhead absorption rate. So they are asking what is true. Using a predetermined absorption rate, avoid fluctuations in unit cost caused by abnormally high or low overhead expenditure on activity level. What do you think? Is it right or wrong? I want you to think carefully like this. Now, if you use the predetermined rate, Alex, right, you have a predetermined rate, so your cost is very standard. It won't change. Right, you're putting up the standard thing and it won't change. But if you wait for the actuals, this year fuel price, this month fuel price is this, next month the fuel price is that, and if you're going to use that one, it will fluctuate very well, very heavily. It can fluctuate abnormally. So actually that is one reason we use predetermined. I told you one reason why we use predetermined because we want to have much more fast access to the information. The second reason why we use predetermined is this one. That is to avoid fluctuation. If you use the actuals, look at the oil barrel, which is 860 will come down to 44. So your costing will really go crazy. 1 month you are going to cost it at 60, next month you are going to cost it at 44. It's going to create a big chaos in your organization. You have to go and change in prices almost daily. So by putting out the predetermined one, you can avoid that one. So you keep at least the prices fixed for 1 month or maybe 1 week or 2 weeks or something like that. So that is right. Sam? That's a right reason. Second one, using a predetermined absorption rate offers the administrative convenience of being able to record full production costs sooner. What do you think that one?
We won't be able to record the full production cost.
Okay. Yeah. What you say is, I know what you say. You will not be able to record the full production cost at actual prices.
Yeah.
But we can record the full production cost if you know the predetermined. What is full production cost? Full production cost is total material, total labor, plus total overhead.
Yeah.
So the material cost we will know, labor cost we know. If we use the predetermined, we will know the total overhead, but not the actuals, but on the predetermined basis. So we can find the full production cost. We can find the production cost, but what Alex said was correct, but that is not the true cost, not the actual cost. But we can do the total, and that is what we do in the absorption costing. We don't wait till the true cost, we work with the predetermined cost, and then we work out overhead absorption or overhead under absorption. Overhead over absorption or overhead under absorption. So that is what we do really. Actually, the second one is also right, Alex. You can record it. And that is what we do. We don't wait till the actual cost comes. We record it at today's cost. Third one, using a predetermined avoids problem of under or over. Now what do you think that one?
No.
No. Actually, because we are using the predetermined, only we have the under and over. Is it right? If we are using the actuals, we have no problem. But because we are using predetermined, we have the under and over problem. Sam, is it clear?
Yes.
Right. So that is what is happening. Because we are using predetermined, we can have an under-absorption, we can have an over-absorption. So I think the answer is 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So that is the right answer, A.
A.
Yeah. So I'm going to send you this recording today because I want you to listen to this one and again understand it. Sam, were you able to download those recordings earlier?
Yeah, I've told you that it's not, I wasn't able to.
Oh, right. Still you have not been able to?
Yes. Even I tried yesterday,
Okay.
it's still not yet.
Yeah, but have you got that, what they call, Alex, but did you try it?
Yeah, I use Google Drive. So
Okay.
I just save it to the drive, transfer to my computer.
Okay. So Google Drive, you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google Drive, you should be able to do it. But Sam, you let me know. In that case, I will upload it to YouTube and you send you a link for you.
Yes, my YouTube will be better.
Okay. I will do that one for you. Right. So,
The previous classes.
yeah, previous classes I will do it. I have the recording. I will send it to you. Okay. Right. So, yeah. So let's look at the next one, the number 4 question. Number 4 question. A company has overabsorbed fixed production. Company has overabsorbed fixed production of the period by 6,000. So in other words, what is meant by overabsorption is that you budgeted for 100,000, right? When you overabsorbed, what happens? Right? You budgeted for 100,000, but you have overabsorbed means that you have gone overabsorption. The fixed production overabsorption rate was 8 per unit and is based on normal level activity of 5,000 units. So what is your standard overhead? 8 per unit. 8 per unit into 5,000. So what they have budgeted is 40,000. And it based on normal activity level of 5,000 units. So absorption rate was 8 per unit and based on normal activity level of 5,000 units. So they would have absorbed the budgeted overheads is 40,000. Budgeted overheads is 40,000. But the actual production was 4,500. So when the actual production is 4,500, they will absorb 8 into 4,500. 8 into 4,500, they will absorb it. So what they say is they have absorbed 8 into 4,500, 36,000. But they say it is overabsorbed by 6,000. So when you absorb 36,000, it is more by 6,000.
Okay.
It is more by 6,000. So what is your actual? Actual is 36 minus 6.
Okay.
Minus 6, 30,000. Sam, I want you to understand this one very carefully, right? Their overhead absorption rate is 8. So when they produce 4,500 units, they will absorb into cost 36,000. But they say after absorbing 36,000, they say they have overabsorbed 6,000. So that, so when you remove the 6,000, any overabsorption you must remove it, you will find the actual overheads are only 30,000. So when the actual overheads are 30,000, they have absorbed 36,000. That means we have overabsorbed 6,000.
6,000.
So your actual overheads will be 30. Answer is A.
Okay.
Answer is A. So that is how you should be looking at that one. So you have to be,
Yes.
you have to carefully look at, you must know the theory very well and carefully look at these things. But actually with Sam, I will be doing a theory session later. So don't worry, I will do a theory session with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5.
Thank you, ma'am.
Number 5. Yesterday we want to do, but yesterday we could not do because I think you have to come to the cafe to do this one. No, I think.
Yes.
Let's look at the number 5. Which of the following is not used as a basis to absorb production overhead? Now this is a simple question. I'm sure you can answer this one. which is not a basis to absorb production overheads in a traditional costing system?
Setup.
Setup, you are right. Setup. Because the production units, I told you, we can use it as absorption costing. If it is one product, we can use always this one. Single product. We can use it. Number of machine hours, we can use it if it is machine intensive. If it is using a lot of machine hours, we can use that one. Labor, we can use it if it is labor intensive. But this we don't use it under traditional. This we will use it under activity based. Activity based. Is it clear for you, Sam?
Yes.
These are the three methods normally we use to absorb overheads under traditional method. Units, machine hours, labor hours. Units we can use it provided we have only one product. Machine hours we should use it if the machine intensive. Labor hours if it is labor intensive. Right. That's easy. Then let's go to the number 10. Number 6, sorry.
Number 6.
Number 6. Is this useful for you all? Doing questions?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. Because I think this is the best way to learn. You can learn much more faster, and your theory knowledge will come up very valuable here. So I want to look at the question number 6. Question number 6. So, budgeted output 200,000 units. Budgeted fixed production overheads 1 million. Right? Actual fixed production overhead 1,300,000. Total fixed production overhead variance 100,000. So we have been asked to calculate the actual level of production. Now, this kind of a question you must think a little bit. So what are they asking? Actual level of production. Actual level of production. So for us to get the actual level of production, we must find out what is the overhead absorption rate. So we know the total overheads, Alex, is 1 million. Budgeted. Right? Budgeted overheads are 1 million. And number of units budgeted is 200,000. So your predetermined overhead absorption rate is 5. Overhead absorption rate is 5. So you have got an actual fixed overhead of 1,300,000. Actual fixed overhead is 1,300,000. They say the variance is adverse 100,000. Now I want you to understand very carefully. Adverse 100,000. So for this amount of production, what is the budgeted overhead? This is the actual. Actual is 1,300,000. They say the adverse variance is 100,000. So I want both of you all to think and tell me what is the budgeted overhead. 1,300,000 is your actual overhead, right? 1,300,000 is actual overhead, but they say it is adverse variance. What is adverse variance? Adverse variance means you have spent more than the budget.
Okay.
Yeah, more than the budget. You have spent 100,000 more than the budget.
Okay.
Understand? 100,000 more than the budget. That is the way you must think. You know, rather than trying to think, oh this thing, that thing, no, very simply think. 1,300,000 is actual, but they say variance is 100,000. That means you have spent more than 100,000 than the budget. So that means what is the budget, Sam?
1.4.
Is it
1,000,004.
Is it 1.4 or 1.2? I want you to think. You have spent more than 100,000. This is actual. This 1,300,000 is actual. I want you to think very carefully. 1,200,000 is actual. That is 100,000 more than the budget. So what is the budget?
Budget is 100,000. 1 million.
You have spent 100,000 more than the budget. In that case, what is the budget for this output?
1.2.
1.2, right? Sam, can you get that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have spent more than 100,000. So your budget will be less by 100,000. Isn't it?
Yes.
The budget is less by 100,000. So for this production, the budgeted overhead is 1,200,000.
Yes.
For this production, the budgeted overhead is 1,200,000. So now we know,
200,000.
right? We know the overhead absorption rate is 5. So if we divide it by 5, we will get the unit we have produced, the level of production. 1,200,000 divided by 5, which is 240,000.
B.
Do you get it?
Unit.
How did we do that one? First of all, what we did was we found the overhead absorption rate. How did we find out? Budgeted output is 200,000. Fixed production overhead is 1 million. By dividing, I found it to be 5. Then what I did was, the examiner tells me, your actual overheads are 1,300,000, but there is an adverse variance of 100. That means I have overspent. So my budgeted overhead for this particular output is 1,200,000. So if the budgeted overhead is 1,200,000, if the overhead absorption rate is 5, my actual production must be 1,200,000 divided by 5, 240,000.
But 5 is not clear that one.
Pardon?
It's not that much clear. 5, rate 5 is not clear that one.
5 is?
Yes, it's not clear for me.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, okay. Right. We have, the budgeted, the predetermined budget is 1 million. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Number of output units are predetermined 200,000. So your overhead absorption rate is 5. So whenever we produce, whatever the amount we produce, we will be absorbing at the rate of 5. Now we want to find how many units we have produced. That is what we want the answer. So we want to know how much is the budgeted expenditure for this level. So what they say, they spend 1,300,000, but they say when they spend 1,300,000, actual 100,000 is overspent. So budgeted expenditure for this level of activity is 1,200,000.
This is clear one, yes, but I mean for the 5.
Yeah. 5. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
The 5 is the predetermined overhead rate. 1 million is your total overhead, and budgeted number of output is 200. So the 5 is your predetermined overhead rate. So as I told you, what do we do in real absorption costing? We take the real predetermined overhead rate and apply to our actual production. So that is what we do. Predetermined overhead rate is 5. Now 240,000 we have produced. So we would have charged 1,200,000. But
yes,
our actual expenditures are 1,300,000. So that is why we have 100,000 variance coming out. So we will charge it to our costing only 1,200,000 Sam.
yes.
We go by the predetermined rate 5. And our production is 241,200,000. But our actual overheads are 1,300,000. So this 100 will be shown as a variance, which is a under-absorption. Under-absorption. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, we have spent 1,300,000, we have absorbed only 1,200,000, so there's an under-absorption here of 100,000. That's clear. That is all we need to know. So this is what you should be really looking. Simply, don't try to memorize any formulas. Try to think very practical, very fundamental. That way you will never, because as you go up, if you remember the fundamentals, very easy rather than looking at the formula. So I saw this answer in the BPP question book. Very complicated answer they have given because they are gone by a lot of formula. Don't work on the formula. Okay, let's look at the question number 7. Let's look at the question number 7. A company operates a standard absorption costing system and absorbs fixed production overhead based on machine hours. So they take it on the machine hours. Budgeted fixed production overhead for the company for the previous year was 660 and the budgeted output was 220 using 44,000 machine hours. So now immediately, Alex, I can work out my overhead absorption rate. I know they are going by machine hours. Their total budgeted overheads are 660,000 and the budgeted machine hours are 44,000. So immediately I know by overhead absorption rate is 660 divided by 44, how much? 15? 15. 15 per hour. So this is what I call SAM, overhead absorption rate. That is, every time I use a machine, 1 hour, I must absorb 15. 15. So what they say is, they say budgeted overheads are for the previous 660 output was during the year, So 15 is the amount, the overhead per machine hour. During this year, the total of the fixed production overheads, right? The total fixed production overhead debited to fixed production control account was 590. Now that is your actual expenditure. That is what you debit to your overhead control account. So remember, always your financial accounts will debit the actual expenditure. Actual expenditure is 590,000. So that is also very important, Alex, to remember that one. When they say what is debited to the fixed production overhead control account is, that is the actual amount. That is what you have paid, credit cash and debit expenditure with 590,000. Right? So that also we know. So what else we know? Company operates standard and absorb fixed overhead. Budgeted fixed overheads for the company are previous year 660. Budgeted output was 220,000. So per unit, what is the charge that they take it? Per unit. Per unit they take 660,000 divided by 220. Per unit the overhead absorption is $3. But they don't go by the unit, they go by machine rate. So during that year, the total fixed production debited was 590 and the actual output was 200,000 units, 38,000 machine hours. Now we must find out what is the overhead we will absorb it. 38,000 is the actual number of machine hours. And on that basis, at the rate of 15, we will absorb 15 into 38,000. 15 into 38,000, we will absorb it. So how much we will absorb it? 15 into 38,000. That is the way you are going to absorb, because they are going to absorb based on machine hours. 15 is the rate. How much?
570,000.
570,000. 570,000, they will absorb it. They will absorb it 570,000. What is the actual overhead?
590.
590. Right? That is the amount that you have debited to the control account. So actual overheads are 590, right? But you have absorbed it 570. So what is the difference? 20,000 underabsorbed. Yeah? 20,000 underabsorbed. That is the right answer.
C. Okay.
C is the right answer. Because our actual expense is 590, right? And they say that is what they are debited to the control account. But our real absorption is on the 38,000 hours. They will absorb 570 because the machine hour rate is the rate that they take it, 570, 590, 20,000 underabsorbed. Okay. So let's look at the next question. Let's look at the next question. So next question is number 8. A company produces and sells. Number 8. Yeah. A company produces and sells one type of product. Now I want to underline that word. One type of product. You know why? When it is one type, I can use the overhead absorption rate. I can use the number of units. If it is many types only, I have to use the machine hours or labor hours. So remember that also. So details for the last year were as follows. Production 25,000, sales 23,000, actuals 22, production sales 20,000. There were no inventory. Yeah, there were no inventory at the start of the year. Selling price and cost they are given, budget, actual selling, variable cost given, fixed overheads given, fixed selling price given. Calculate the actual profit for the year that would be reported using absorption costing. Actual profit that will be reported using the absorption costing. Actual profit which is being used on the absorption costing. So first of all, what we must look at is on this question number 8. Question number 8. First look at what they wanted the used on absorption costing, actual profit. So what we know is we are given the actual selling price, actual variable cost, and also we know the actual sale. Yeah. So we can find out the actual contribution to this one. 70 minus 55 is the contribution, 15 into number of units sold, 20,000. The actual contribution we have received is 15 into 20,000, right? We can find out the contribution we have received. How much is that? 15 into 20,000. How much is the contribution we have received? We are looking at the question number 8. Right? We are looking at the question number 8. How much? 15 is the selling price actual. Variable cost per unit is 55. So we have got 15 into 20,000 is my contribution what I will get.
300,000.
300,000. 300,000 is my contribution, actual contribution I have got. So what I find out is on the basis of absorption costing, what is my profit? So from the contribution, if I want to get the profit, what have I got to do? I must absorb the overhead, isn't it? I must absorb the overhead. So I have to look at the overhead absorption rate. What is the absorption rate overhead? So they say the budget is 25,000. Production unit is 25,000 they have given. But they have not told us. Yeah, right. They have told us. Right. They have told us the budgeted production overhead and they the budgeted fixed production overhead. 130,000. So 130,000 is the fixed production overhead and they are budgeted to produce 25,000. So we know the overhead absorption rate here. 130,000 divided by 25,000.
Yeah.
130,000 divided by 25,000. So we know the budgeted production overhead rate is 5.2. Overhead absorption rate. 5.2. So how many units did we sell during this period? 20,000 units. He sold 20,000, actual units sold was 20,000 units. So on the 20,000 we will absorb how many? 5.2 into 20,000. 5.2 into 20,000 we will absorb it based on the budgeted. 35.2 into 20,000 is how much? 104,000? 104,000. 104,000 we will absorb it as your production overhead. As your production overhead, 104,000 you will take it up. So from your 300,000 contribution, 104,000 is your absorption. So which will leave you with a 226,000 profit. 226,000 profit. Then from there we must remove the fixed selling cost. The fixed selling cost is actuals 75,000. Actual fixed selling cost is 75,000. So that should give me my profit. Right?
Yeah.
How did you get it? We sold 20,000 units at the rate, the contribution of 70 into 55, 15. So 15 into 20, 300,000 we got it. Right? Of that 104,000, 104,000 we have to absorb in the overheads. So 5.2 into 20,000 for the amounts what we sold, 104,000, which is going to give me a profit of 226,000 before overheads. Overheads are 75,000. So we should get 151,000 profit. That is what the answer is. Clear?
Yes.
Right. So let's look at the next one. Number 9. Number 9. Let's look at number 9. Number 9. Overhead absorbed occurs. Over-absorbed occurs when? So this is also like the other one. Earlier we did a question. Now can you all think about this answer? When absorbed overheads exceeds the budgeted overhead, actual overheads exceed the absorbed overheads, actual overheads exceed. So this kind of a question, the easiest thing to work out is, if you can't get it on one shot, put up some figures. Put up some figures, right? Actual overheads are, let's assume 100,000. This is actual overhead, right? Let's assume the actual overheads are 100,000. Let's assume budgeted overheads are 80,000. Budgeted. Let's assume absorbed overheads are 90,000. Keep these three figures. This is actual, this is budgeted, this is what we have absorbed. Now I want to look at the first one. Absorbed overheads. Absorbed overheads is 90. It exceeds the budget. So in this scenario, absorbed overheads are 90, the budgeted overheads are 80. So will it be over absorption or what?
Yes.
But how do we?
Overhead.
I want you to look at very carefully. How does the over absorption comes? Over absorption comes not with the budget. Over absorption comes the difference between actual and what you have absorbed. Sam? Over absorption comes. It's not the budget figure. It is actual. Actual overheads are 100,000. What you have absorbed is 110,000. This is what we call over absorption. So actually the first one is not right. The first one they are talking about is the budget. Second one is talking about actual overhead exceeding the absorbed overhead. Actual overheads are 110,000, whereas the absorbed overheads are 100,000. That is a under absorption. Look at the C. Actual overhead exceed budgeted overhead. Actual overhead exceed budgeted overhead. Now the budget doesn't matter. So this is also wrong. This is also wrong. This is they are talking about actual overheads. Actual overheads are 100,000. Exceeding the budgeted overhead, the B one, exceeding the absorbed overheads 90. That means it's an under absorption, right? But the last one, look at absorbed overheads. Absorbed overheads are 90. Actual overheads are 100,000. Actual overheads are 100,000. So here actual absorbed overheads are 110. Absorbed overheads are 110. Actual overheads are 100. So this is a situation we have a over absorption. Actual is 100, but we have absorbed more than that. So the right answer is D. So remember, always the under absorption, over absorption comes between the actual and the absorption. That is what you have to look at. So just carefully look at again that one. So that is the answer. The D is the right answer. Then we come to the next one. Next one. Let's look at the next one. Number 10. A company produced 5,000 units of product B last month. Company produced 5,000 units of product B last month. The opening and closing inventory of product was 400 units and 900 units respectively. Selling price and the production cost were as follows. What is the gross profit for last month under absorption costing? So under the absorption costing, the inventory matters, Alex, right? Marginal costing, it does not matter, but here because in the inventory you carry certain overheads to the next period. So we can work out this one. What is the gross profit? So we can work out this one. We know the selling price is 6,000. Sorry, selling price is 20. Selling price is 20. And company produced.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Sir,
Yeah, can you hear me now?
the voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear because...
Yeah, Alex, is it clear? Not clear? Yeah, there's some problem, I think. Hold on.
Hello?
Hello, hold on.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Yeah, give me a minute, I'll try to put the sound correct.
Yes. Again, please.
Now is it clear? Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, now clear? Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, Alex, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's better.
Yeah. Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear.
Yeah, right, okay. Right.
Yes, now it's clear.
Yeah, now it's okay. Right. So I'm going to look at this number 10 question. So always whenever there's an inventory change, now here you can see the opening was 400, closing was 900 something there. So what we can do is we can work out the entire thing, right? So we can work out. So the sales, what they say is company produced 5,000 units. The opening inventory was 400. So we know opening inventory plus production minus closing inventory is your sales, correct? So opening inventory is 400. They
Yes.
produce 5,000. The closing inventory is 900. That will give me my sales number of units. So that is 4,500. So 4,500 units I sold at the rate of 20. At the rate of 20. So my total sales are 4,500 into 20, 90,000. Right? So my direct cost again I can work it out on the basis of opening stock, closing stock, because I'm using the absorption costing system SAN. So my opening stock, I had how many units? 400 units. So opening stock 400 units, what is the price we value under total absorption costing? What is the price we valued?
Okay.
Unit cost. What is the unit cost? So they are given us the production cost, all that is given. So what is the unit cost we will apply to value? The total unit cost is the direct cost plus the variable production overhead cost plus the fixed production overhead cost. So it is 6 plus 350 plus 590. This is my total cost per unit. 6, 350 plus 590, which is 15.4. So my opening stock will be valued at 400 into 15.4. Sam, is it clear? No?
Not that one.
Yeah. 4,500 units sold. Is it clear for that one?
Okay.
Opening inventory plus purchases minus closing. That's one.
Yeah.
Inventory is valued under absorption costing system, taking total cost. Total cost is direct cost, variable production overhead plus fixed overhead cost. So the total cost is 6 plus 350 plus 590. If it is marginal cost, it is 6 plus 350. But when it is total cost, it is including the fixed production overhead, 6 plus 350 plus 590. So, your unit cost is 15.4 amount. 6 plus 350 plus 590. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Right. So, opening stock must be valued at opening stock is 400 into 15.4. So, remember your cost of sales is opening stock plus production minus closing stock. Is the cost of sales. So, opening stock at cost is 400 into 15.4. How much is that? 6,160. Production 5,000 at 15.4. 5,000 into 15.4. How much is that? 5,000 into 15.4. What is the figure? 77,000?
75.
5,000 into 15.4.
77,000.
77,000. So you have to add these.
77,000, yeah.
Yeah, you have to add this thing. Opening stock plus the production, add it up. 160, 83, 160. Deduct the closing stock. Closing stock also should be valued at 15.4. So 900 units closing stock. 900 into 15.4. So closing stock also value with 900 into 15.4. Remember in absorption costing, all inventory valued at total cost. Yeah, hello?
13,860.
13,860. 13,860. So deduct that one. Deduct that one. So 83,160 minus 13,860 will give me 69,300. 83,160 minus 13,860. Yeah. So 90 is your sale. Cost of sale is 69,300. The balance will give you a gross profit. Sam, is it clear for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Sales minus cost of sales is your gross profit. How do you get the cost of sales? Opening stock plus production minus closing stock. So 20,700 is your gross profit. That is what the answer is. 20,700 is your gross profit. I'll tell you another simple way to get this answer if you want it. How to get this answer very simply. So, remember the number of units they sold, 4,500. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, 4,500 units they sold it. Right? 4,500 units they sold it. What is the contribution, the profit per unit? Profit per unit is 460. So 4,500 times 460, how much?
2.6.
4,500 into 460, how much? What is the figure you are getting? 4,500 into gross profit per unit is 460. What do you get? 20,700.
2,700.
Yeah, can you see that same answer I can get it in a much more shorter way. Here I did the long way, but I can get the same answer in the shorter way also.
Yeah.
Here I did all the... Sam, can you hear me now? Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Right. So what I was explaining you, I got it in the long way, the answer, going by the number of units, everything, but I can get it in a shorter way, right? I can get it on the shorter way. 4,500 units into 460 will give me the same answer. 20,700. So either way you can do it. So actually in a question you must try the shorter way, but if you are not sure of the shorter way,
Yeah.
do it in the long way. I always prefer the long way because I will not make a mistake. But here, it's not that difficult. You can do this one. Sam, can you hear me? Hello, Sam.
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, Sam?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So I did about 10 questions.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I did about 10 questions today. I'm going to send you the recording, and I will send Sam the recording to the YouTube also. And what you have to do is go and practice these questions again.
Okay.
Yeah, go and practice. Next week, I want to look at some activity-based questions also, but I want to look at theory in the throughput area. Throughput questions I want to look at next week. So next Saturday, can we do? Next Saturday, Alex won't be there, I think, no? Alex?
Next Saturday, yeah, I'll be there.
You will be there? Next Saturday?
Next Saturday, I'll be there.
Yeah, next Saturday will be. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yeah, hold on for a second. Next Saturday, can we do it a little late? Today we did it at today Saturday. Next Saturday also, can we do it this time what we did today? 11:30?
Yes, it's clear.
Saudi time 11:30.
This time is good.
Yeah, Saudi time 11:30. For
11:30, yeah.
Sam 12:30. All right, Sam.
Dubai, 12:30. Yes, 12:30.
12:30. Yeah. So we'll make it next week, next Saturday.
Yes, 12:30 is okay.
12:30. All right. So let's make it next time Saturday, and we will look at some more.
Okay, about the theory?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, what about the missed class yesterday?
Yeah. What about the missed class? Yes. You send me your free time. Send me a mail.
We missed classes.
Yeah. Send me your free time on a mail, and we will try to organize some classes for you.
When you have a time?
Yeah, that's right. You tell me what your free times are. Hello. Yeah, Sam. Hello, Sam. Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, Sam, you send me a mail giving giving your free times.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to type it.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Yeah, that's right. With free time, then I will give you a time. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send you an email.
Yeah. Saturday
I'll send you an email.
we will meet 11:30 Alex time, 12:30 Sam time.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, right. Okay. Thank you both of y'all. Okay, thank you. Take care.